were willing to stand up and, sort of expose their just unimaginable level of grief to the world because they want people to understand. And, Aviva, I know both you and Mandana have spoken with many of the hostage families. What's your feeling about this? I should have asked, are you in Israel right now? Where are you? I know you go back and forth constantly. I didn't even ask.
I'm in the States right now. I'd say that the word that sort of presses on my mind and on my heart, and I think for so many other people, both Jews around the world, people that are following the hostages and care about them, and certainly for Israelis, is anguish, absolute anguish over losing these 6 hostages. But also it felt a lot like the days after October 7th and the absolute shock and horror and a disbelief that in the year 2024, when we have a Jewish state and we have an army that's supposed to keep us safe, that an attack of that magnitude was able to take place. I think we felt the ripples of that effect once again. And these particular hostages, there were 251 hostages taken on October 7th. And it's hard to know all the names and all the faces, but I think the 2 that really rose to global attention were Noah Argamani and Hirsch Goldberg-Polin. And Noah was rescued. And I know in my heart, I thought Hirsch was going to be rescued. And I think many other people believed that as well, because he was American, because his story was so well known, because of the horrific circumstances in which he was taken. His arm was blown off before he was taken captive. And as you said, because of his parents, who have been shown an unbelievable amount of fortitude and resilience, but also just love and courage. Whenever you hear them speak, you never hear them speak with anger. You always hear them speak with a great deal of love, and always calling for the return of all the hostages, always speaking about how this is a human issue and not a political issue. And I think because of their advocacy and because we all felt like we knew this family, which made us feel like we knew Hirsch, and he was on the list of the 20 to 30 first hostages that were supposed to be released in the first phase of another hostage ceasefire agreement.
I was just going to say that. I mean, that detail was maybe one of of all the horrible things, and it's hard, you can't, I think his father said, like, there's no way to rank grief and horror, right? It's all horrible. But that detail, that he was so close to having been released potentially, and that the IDF was so close to potentially having freed them, is, I think, one of the hardest, it's just the hardest thing to process, because it's just sort of, the whole thing is so unimaginable.